Hi, I'm Dave Thompson and this is Hyperbright Studios. First thing I'd like to say is please like, share and subscribe for this channel. What we're going to talk about today is how to record an acoustic guitar. And there are three main methods that people use for recording an acoustic guitar. One is recording through a DI, and another one is recording using one microphone, and the other one is using two microphones. So we're going to cover all of them today and what the advantages of each of them methodologies are. So recording through a DI has some advantages to it. The input comes directly out of your guitar, so what you will find is that there will be no background noise or anything like that in that recording. You will tend to get a completely clean recording from the guitar itself, and that can be really handy for getting isolation of the instruments if you put it through some kind of processing afterwards that makes it sound a bit more acoustic. Now that brings me on to the second issue that is with DIs, is they usually come from pickups called piezo pickups that are in acoustic guitars, and they don't always sound that great until you do something more with them. They tend to sound quite brittle, quite tinny, and until there's been some kind of EQ processing or delay or reverb added to it afterwards, they sound a little bit on the lifeless side, to say the least. They also tend to not have like microphones built into the guitar that add or make the signal sound a bit more interesting. Now the second method we're going to go over is using one microphone. Now one of the advantages of this is it's really quite simple to set up. You just stick a large diaphragm condenser usually and point it towards about the 12th fret, maybe about 6 to maximum, I would say like 12 inches away from the acoustic guitar, and what you will get from that is quite a good overall balance of the acoustic guitar. Now that has some advantages in terms of simplistic setup. However, one of the advantages of having a two microphone setup like this one here is that you will get more of a stereo image of the guitar. Just using like a single mono channel will sound, unless it's had some kind of stereo processing afterwards, will sound a little bit bland. So having a two microphone setup will add a lot more depth to your acoustic guitar recording. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to play some examples with each of these different methods and with a few different strumming styles and finger picking styles, so you can hear the difference that each of those methodologies has upon the sound of the instrument. The first step when recording with a DI is to obviously plug the jack into the socket. Next thing you've got to make sure is that the volume for the DI output is at full volume, and also you got to make sure that the tone control on this guitar is somewhere in the middle. I tend to prefer having settings from the guitar itself set in the middle without any EQ on, so that I can apply effects on afterwards with ease. To record with a two microphone setup, you need to plug in your XLRs into the preamps that you're recording with, and you see here I've got a stereo bar set up, and what I'm doing is I'm pointing the stereo mics to about the 12th fret on the acoustic guitar, and I will test the signal. Now at the moment, this one is getting a little bit more signal than this guitar, probably because it's a little bit closer to the sound hole. So sometimes what I'll do is just adjust them a little bit so that you get a balanced signal for each side. Again, this one's a little bit louder. Now I can see on the meters that these are actually, even though they're not exactly pointing towards the right spot, they're balanced out in terms of volume, so you can use them in a left and right setup. To record with one microphone, I would advise using a large diaphragm condenser. This one is a Aston Origin microphone, which is really good for acoustic guitars. It's a really, really nice, warm sounding large diaphragm condenser. And I'm pointing this roughly 12 to 6 inches away from the 12th fret on the acoustic guitar, which is about here. Right, I hope that was all useful for you. What I'm going to go over next is the preamp settings that I had set up for this setup and some of the post-recording effects that I have put onto the recording as well. So you can hear examples of effects that will change the sound of the acoustic guitar for the better. Right, so I'm just going to go through some of the effects that I'm using on this particular project. And in terms of what I'm using some Waves plugins here. This is a loudness, WLM loudness meter, and I'm just using this to make sure that the clips as they're going out are roughly the same volume level, so you're not kind of picking things by a preference because they're louder than each other. eQuick is just an EQ plugin, which to be honest I haven't used for anything. X-Hum is a comb filter that takes out a 50 Hz hum that was on the DI, and if I just solo this, that's without the filter. Sorry, that's with the filter. That's without the filter. So you notice it does take out a 50 Hz hum, which shouldn't really be on a guitar like this, but for some reason it is. The CLA or Chris Lord Algae Unplugged plugin is basically an acoustic guitar or acoustic instrument plugin that adds reverb, compression, bass, treble, and delay. It's very, very simple. I tend to just put it on the opening setup as it comes in, and it just makes guitars sound nice. So when I've put something on with effects, that means that is activated. If it's without effects, then that's deactivated. On the output stage, there's just a limiter. So really quite a straightforward setup. On this level, the Avalon plugins, these are just set to a preset for acoustic guitar, and then I've just cranked the gain up to full, which has a slight low mid and slight treble boost. So that's actually recording on the tracking phase. This is a plugin that uses something called Unison technology, where it makes the plugin basically sound like a preamp by matching the impedance and creating a very tight interaction between the microphone and the preamp that's similar to a hardware unit. So that's unique to UAD. That's on all of the channels, so it's on the DI, it's on the Neumanns and on the Aston, all with exactly the same setup. Right, I think we've covered everything there as far as recording acoustic guitar is concerned. Please like, share and subscribe the channel for more content like this, and I will see you next time. I'm Dave and this is Hyper Bright Studios. Bye bye.